Hey guys, KTaNE here and welcome to U. This is another one of the single letter modules, and this is what it looks like. It does look so different if there's more than one there. I'll get to this in a second. The aim of the module is that we have to figure out a hidden value, which is using logic gates and displaying the colour on the U. So, when the time ticks, the U will change colours based on the logic gate applied to the last 4 binary digits of a hidden value from 0 to 15, and the last 4 binary digits of the seconds timer here. There's actually one of the following cases applied to the seconds timer. So the numbering system we might use will vary between modules possibly. Either it's just a seconds timer modulo 15, it's a seconds timer modulo 15 but 0 is 15, so 1 1 1 1 rather than all zeros. And then this one is the most complicated one, I think. One is added to the seconds timer before or after modulo 15. So of course that will mean 0 becomes 1, 1 becomes 2. This is if you do it beforehand. And then of course 14, if you do it beforehand, it will become 15, modulo 15, it becomes 0. But if you do it afterwards, it will be 14, modulo 15 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So part of this is going to be figuring out what case we have, basically. What numbering system we have. And also what the mystery value is, of course. So first of all, the colours displayed on the U evaluate to by the channels RGBV, as you can see down here. This is with them colourblind on, by the way. But you can also identify it without the colourblind using this. So, one of the logic gates can always be determined. We will more than often only need that one as well, because the other ones aren't really easy to determine without guessing. This is dependent on the rotation clockwise from top right for the status light. So in this case, it is 2 away from it, meaning that the seconds timer modulo 4, if it equals 2, that's when we can determine the logic gate. This logic gate is determined by hovering over the U and see what colour the background changes to, with no change being white. So in this case, you might have seen the U was blue. So looking down here, when the timer is 2 mod 4, we are using not implied by. Is what this one means. Thankfully there is a reference table down here, so we can use. So, let's collect some values. I normally get about 3 values for this. So, since I started on a... We don't really have to look at the minutes part here, just the seconds. Mainly because they only refers to seconds. So I'm going to quickly take the calculator up. So look at the timer. To get 2 mod 4, let's pick some values as it's counting down. So mod 4. 44 is 0, so 46 would be a value we can use. And 46 gives us 0, 0, 0. We can then have 34. Which is 0, 1, 0, 0. Kind of missed that one, so if that's wrong, I'll just correct it later. Then we can use 18, which is 0. I have a feeling that the zeros might not be helpful, so let's get a different value. Let's say 6. 3100 is 6. Let's try and get one that's different from this one. So, is 0.2 good for something more useful? Yes. 1100. What about, let's go for 26. 1000 is 26. Let's see what we can do with this for now. So, let's start with assuming it's the simplest case. The seconds timer display modulo 15. So, mod 15. We have void 6, which would be 1. So, some number 001 gives us 0000 with not implied by. And we can immediately see the only time not implied by gives us 0 for 1 at the bottom, or on the right here, is when the other one is also 1. So we know that the last digit is a 1. And that's basically all we can get right now. Yeah, that is basically all we can get right now. Let's try another value. 34. 34 gives us 4. So, assuming that this is what we have, 34 should be this. However, we can see, actually, we can see this still lines up here. And then this also seems to line up because when we have a 1 here, we get a 1 here, which is a possibility. So we can put 0 here, but then we still don't get much more information than that. Just try another value that we have. 42 is 12. So something 0.1, 12, which is 1100, gives us 1100. Meaning that this one was also 0. Now we still have information here. Let's try and get one where we can get some information here. The 6 is of course 6, which would be helpful. So 0, something 0, so 1. 6 is 0110. 0110. And then 6 gave us this. Meaning 1 on the right giving us 0 means that the 1 has to be hit. So we currently could assume our number is 3. Let's just check with the last one. So we have 26, which is 11. 11 being 1011. And then it gave us 100. And that does seem to line up. Yep. So this is our answer, and it turns out we guessed correctly first try. There was just the second time it displayed modulo 15. So in this case, we now have our number 3 in decimal. So now we're going to press the U when the timer modulo 15. Press the letter when the second timer modulo 15 is hidden value, so 3. If it was 15, it would be 0 instead. 0 modulo 15. So in this case, we're just aiming for 3. 3 is coming up, so we get a module. I know I've loaded up 2 more here, specifically to show off the linked part of this. Linked doesn't actually do much. It just makes... There is stuff it does, but it's not too consequential. You can see linked modules with the coloured box at the top of it, and you can click this coloured box to confirm which one is linked with. And specifically, linked ones, logic gates that were not used in one will be used in the other and vice versa, meaning the logic gate you get in this one won't be the logic gate you get in this one. Which is paired, have a square above them, and that's about it. That is basically all that this does, basically. So let's do one of these ones, just as another example, and then we'll probably leave it after that one. So in this case, this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 clockwise. So it'll be 3 mod 4 this time. And the colour is green. Yeah. So we're looking at NOR here. So back to mod 4. We have 55. We of course have 3 as well. And 7. Let's go for 3. Yep, I missed 3, so 55. There's 001. Look at this one, of course. 45. 47. Just passed. 39. Yeah, that works. I missed that as well. 29. 27. There's 011. We have 15. And 011. And then let's try and get 7. 1000 and 3. 1000. Let's see what we do with this. So, some number. Let's once again assume the simplest case first. Second time we displayed modulo 15. So 55 mod 15. Of course, we will see if it doesn't make sense, if we get an impossible case or the cases don't line up, of course. So in this case we have 10, which is 1010, and it gives us 001. 1. What can we get from this with the NOR gate? Well, we can see 1 does line up with having a 0 there. Implies this one is also 0. Then we have, which of course that means this one with a 0 means that this one had to be a 1. We can't get any information about these two though. So next one we have 27, which is 12, 1100, something on something 0, giving us 001. The 0 at the bottom with the 1 at 1 result means that that's 0 as well. And does this give us any information? No. So next one, 15, of course. Now this is where the interesting thing can come around here. given that these two factors are basically, these two cases are basically the same, with 0 and 15 being the difference. So let's try it with 0 and 15 if that doesn't make sense. So something 1 0 0 0 0 0 gives us 1 0 1, which does seem to line up because that can be 0. Let's check out with the rest of them. Let's see if 4 is our number. 7 of course becomes 7, so 7, which is 0 1 1, and using NOR, knowing that 0 0 gives us 1, that would be this, hopefully. Look at 7. That lines up. So I think we got lucky here, and we got the simplest case both times. But of course with these ones, these two could be treated the same until you get to this. Similar with this, if you figure out it's not this, you can add 1, and then only if you need to figure out whether or not 14 becomes 0 or 15. And let's just check with them 3 as well, which gives us 1 0 0 as well, which lines up. So this is our answer, 4. So mod 15 is 4. We both have 4, which is actually coming up. So again, let's go for that. There we go. So much. Oh. This tutorial went on a little bit longer than I thought. I'm not going to do this one. This was just to show off this thing. But hopefully you understand how the U module works now. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. I'll see you later.